So it was nice that my dad let me use his Jeep to go pick up Percy, so drove all the way up to North Carolina where we had left Percy when we were sailing south, and I'm getting a nice tour of North Carolina, and I thought this was kind of an interesting spot to stop because it's a crossroads here in the middle of North Carolina, and there's even an old phone booth over here, which is in this old gas station, and it's kind of a cool spot. So anyway, also just checking on Percy, making sure she's towing okay. This is the trailer that I picked up real quick when we decided to put the dinghy back on the davit and take Percy off the boat. So it's working pretty good. Sorry about all the wind, but yeah, it's just a basic trailer, but it's doing a good job. It's got a nice long tongue, so it's got a good tongue weight and tows real nice. So I'm real excited about that. It'll work good for putting behind the RV.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt.
So I'm glad to have Percy here back at my dad's house here in Savannah. It's pretty convenient that he ended up here at the same time I did, so that's good. So yeah, I got Percy here safe. The only dilemma I had pulling Percy here is that this new trailer I bought has terrible or non-existent suspension. There's no springs on it. So it's a nice old trailer, but it just beats Percy to death. Just because it rides so rough. And so what has happened is this motor is just so heavy on the transom as you're towing it along. It's really hard, and I'm not sure if it's related to towing, but the steering bar, like the steering is stuck on Percy now. And so I'm trying to sort that out. It's kind of disappointing, but anyway, this trailer will not work to tow Percy anywhere. So working on a new plan for that. But anyway, so at least I have everything all in one place because I have the RV here also. I'll go around and show you that. So I have squeezed Finn into their backyard, which was no easy challenge. I mean, there is not even an inch to spare. It's crazy, but the HOA here won't let you park in the front. So this gives me somewhere free to stay and get staged and make my plans. Let me show you this gate. This gate is technically wide enough, but the stupid latches on it stick, even when you open it fully, kind of stick out, so super tight. And then getting around the side of the house, the tree and everything there, it is a miracle that I managed to squeeze Finn in here, but got her in here and have my own little space here. You can see that this is getting really bad. I'm working on a plan for that, but got her in here, getting all moved in, so that's good. So while Finn was stored at my friend's house here in Georgia, the most unlikely of things happened. They have 7 acres in rural Georgia. And what are the odds that somebody some nut would drive up their long driveway on their acreage and try to turn around and back right into the front of the RV? But that's what happened. So got an insurance payout on it, and it was a work van that did this, and it actually did scratch. You can see some scratches there. It made marks up the side, but it didn't really do anything. But it did totally crack this fiberglass front bumper. And the insurance quote was to replace the bumper, and I figured with my fiberglass skills that I could actually repair this. So I've come a long way with it. I did some good fiberglass work and an epoxy, and she is stronger than ever, and I've got the shape just about right. and so I'm pretty proud of my repair here. It's strong and it's back to the original shape. I haven't done any finish work. This is just getting the strength and the shape back. So now I can do a little finishing on here and try to get it back to automotive finish. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about paint, but since I've got to fix the clear coat on this RV anyway, well then that's gonna happen at the same time, I guess. Also remember if you remember my tour of the RV, the old dog door. Figured since I had my epoxy and everything out, I'd work on that. So I epoxied in the joint and filled all the holes where the old door latch was, because that was a piece of crap anyway. And now I'm working on also getting this kind of a finish, and it's just making sure it's level, because when I put the patch back in there, it wasn't absolutely perfect with the finish of the with the surface of the RV. So I've kind of had to ferret out just a little bit and get it kind of really perfect. So working on that too. So there's a few other little spots around the RV that we're going to be painting anyways. We can get it really looking first class, and so get to that at some point. But I'm working on the two major things right now, so I'm gonna probably just get those to a primer stage, I think, and then figure out if I want to tackle trying to paint and clear coat this thing. That's a challenging job. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, or maybe go to Mexico where it's real cheap. I don't know, figure that out. But at least get it repaired and do a primer stage before we travel, and that's that. So I wonder if anyone watching has ever heard of transitions contact lenses. But if you'll notice that when I'm on camera, if my eyes look really dark, it's because of these transition contacts, and it kind of depends on the lighting and everything, but and also how old the contacts are. As they age, the transition goes away. But yeah, my eyes actually have sunglasses in them and get really dark, and it can look a little creepy. So I thought I'd explain that in case on camera I ever have black eyes, then you'll understand why. Almost all moved into the RV here and tucked into the backyard at my dad's place here. So kind of taking a chance to regroup and get my life together, get my mind straight. Just closed on Momentum and all moved off, and so finally can start to think about other things. While I was on Momentum, and of course dealing with divorce before that or during that, my mind and my thoughts were pretty much all consumed with getting that yacht fixed up and sold. So for the last 6 months or more, that's pretty much all my energy's been on that. So I haven't thought about too much about what I'm doing next. Just focused on getting past that. So now here I am. I'm in Finn. Got most of my stuff put away and ready to go, and now making the plan. So I've been now thinking about that, and I'm going to go through with you guys my options and what direction we're going. And so the way what I've come to is that I have 3 kind of options on how I move forward in life, and at least for me, as far as what would make me happy and what makes the most sense, and they all kind of hinge around boats still, because I have fallen in love with boat life and living on the water. So all my options just kind of relate to that, but I'll go through them with you, and there's 3 of them. So I'll call option A. Option A is pretty much going all in on resurrection, the trailer trawler lifestyle, and that would entail selling everything that I own, excepting of course resurrection. That includes Finn and the Tesla and pretty much everything, and except resurrection, and then purchasing a truck that is strong enough to tow resurrection safely. So it'd be a heavy duty truck, and traveling and then committing to living in resurrection full time, which all of that is going to take some work, but that is one option. And then that would allow me to potentially travel around with resurrection and go on amazing adventures, for the purpose of this channel. I'm sure everyone would be interested in watching that. So that is definitely that's option A. Next one is option B, which for me, option B is going all in and staying on the water full time. And so that could include resurrection. Resurrection can go on the water and stay on the water and forget having a trailer and a truck. It might also include selling resurrection and buying a boat that is, I would say, more comfortable if you're going to stay on the water. The brilliance of resurrection is you can go on land and water. It's small enough to trailer. If you're not going to leave the water, then a trawler or a sailboat or anything. I mean, any boat works. Well, if you're just going to stay on the water, then there's just a lot more options there, and I might think to sell resurrection and get something that could carry Percy would be really nice. A trawler with a crane on the back that could lift Percy up on the roof, something like that would be wonderful. So the all on the water option, that's option B. And then option C is I'd call a shorter term option. Eventually, I mean long term I want to be on the water, but option C is while I have Finn, while I'm on land, is to live the RV life, and that could be super fun. I think if I did that, I would potentially want to tow a small 4x4 truck or something and travel around and have RV life, which of course I YouTube, that you could follow me on whichever way I go. I mean, all these options could be fun and interesting. So RV life is certainly an option, and that would be going all in on RV life, which is still selling resurrection and selling the Tesla, because it's not convenient to tow a Tesla around with this RV, but staying with this RV and going RV life. That's option C. So those are kind of my three directions in life, and you guys all get to follow along, and I guess in some respects you have some say so. You can make comments and tell me what you think and what you'd like to watch. It may or may not end up deciding which way I go, but I'll certainly read your comments and think about everything you say. By the time this, I'm trying to get this video closer to live. Unfortunately, the way the channel's going, you're a little behind. You're going to be a little behind me on real time. I know that, but I'm trying to get you guys all caught up so that you're live with me within even a couple weeks. That would be awesome, and I'm working toward that. So we'll see how close to live this ends up being. But anyway, those are the three options. Now, there's more to it than that, though, because no matter which way I go, I want to be smart with my money, and part of the theme of the channel has been how to retire early and live an amazing life, and I don't want to give up on that. In fact, I want to stay more true to that, because when we purchased Momentum, we put a lot of our kind of retirement savings into the boat with the thought that we could have, that we could take longer to retire because we're enjoying our life so much on our boat. We could, we knew that it was going to be retirement wasn't a set thing with that boat because so much of our money was tied up in it. Now I'm taking all the money from that boat and I am dedicating that money to retirement and aggressively toward retirement. And so by doing that, I don't have access to that money, but at the same time, I don't have to contribute a ton more to retirement. If I just keep that money working toward retirement, I'll be good. So that means I don't have to make a ton of money to live off of because I have no debts to speak of. It's a cool place to be, and that is more to the theme of what I talk about with retiring early, which is sell everything that you own of value and have no debts, invest it all toward retirement, and then find something that doesn't take a lot of money, like Finn here, which is not expensive, and enjoy life before you get to retirement age. And so that is that is the direction I'm going for sure. That is not something I'm trying to decide on. So all of my money from Momentum is retirement money, which means I don't actually have a lot of money to work with. The reality of this, I mean, there was a lot of money, but after divorce, after not working for a while, just factors. The reality of how this is all coming out is I don't know how much more money I'm going to have left over when this is all said and done. Now, the good news is, I mean, I'll own a couple things outright. That's great, but I do have to go back to work in some fashion. And so that's where you guys come in. If you want to see this channel keep going, this is where Patreon and things like this are going to become a lot more relevant. By the time this video is live, I will have a Patreon account. I'm going to be asking you guys to go there and help out and support the channel if you want to see the channel keep going, because whatever I do, it's liable to be exciting and interesting. All three of my options are going to be worth watching and see how it works. And I do have some other ways to earn some cash, but I do have to make enough to not dip into those savings that are retirement savings. And so we're going to explore all the different ways to do that on this channel. I think that's part of what the channel is about. But to pay for the time it takes to edit and keep this channel going, that's where the Patreon is going to come in, because that is a full-time job, keeping content coming regularly, filming, editing, the whole nine. It is not an easy thing to do. So please look for that, and that means subscribing to my channel, liking all my videos, making comments. All those things are going to help. And so you guys watching are going to help make any of these three options a reality. So talking about these three possible options, there is one that really does kind of call to me the most, and that is the one that is option B, which is staying on the water. This is not for sure. There are factors which I'll explain which could influence that, but staying on the water is definitely the direction I lean. I think the challenges of going all in with a trailable trawler are a little more than is easy for me to do. Not impossible, but that's a little harder. And then RV life is kind of happening right now. I mean, I'm doing RV life, and however long it takes me to make the next step happen is how long I do RV life. If I am, in that respect, I can kind of do option C. Right, I'm doing option C as we speak, and I'll do option C until option B or A presents itself. So that's how that's going with the three options. Here's the dilemma. Got Percy, and Percy is on a trailer, which is no good. I mean, it's a perfect good trailer, but not for Percy. And I have a storage room in Arizona, which I don't want to keep paying the tab on. And you'll remember in a previous video when I was picking up Resurrection, the state of that storage room. Some stuff in there is not needed, but there are a lot of tools in there. And in my future, I can definitely see traveling around with the RV and working on fix and flip projects or boat projects or who knows what. I mean, I've got all the skills for boats and for houses. I mean, electrical, plumbing, fiberglass, drywall. It's potentially a good way for me to make some money. So I definitely want to get some stuff out of that storage room. Besides, in that storage room are the real sentimental items that we didn't want to sell when we were selling everything and moving, into the RV. And so the sentimental things that are in there are something I want to definitely get. So the question is, got the RV, got the Tesla, got Percy, and I've actually got some things in the garage here that I saved off of Momentum that are boat things for a future boat that I might own. So I've got a lot of stuff. Way to be a minimalist, huh? still got things to unload. But anyway, so I think the best plan I could think of is to acquire a small cargo trailer. And then we will we'll have to take the engine off Percy, and we'll slide Percy into the cargo trailer because Percy is fairly light without the engine on it. And then just tow the cargo trailer behind the RV with Percy inside and excess capacity in the trailer then to pick up some things from the storage room in Arizona, or even carry some of the things that are here in this garage. That to me seems like the plan, and that cargo trailer could be very useful for me as a storage for personal items, or for going around and traveling with tools and doing fix and flips and fix-up projects. So the cargo trailer definitely seems like the idea, and so I am pretty well set on that idea. So Dad has let me use this truck. Can't see anything, huh? Anyway, Dad's let me use his truck again, and so I'm gonna see if I can't go acquire a cargo trailer. The other day I was driving around and stopped and looked at one that was perfect. So hopefully I can go pick that up, and then we're gonna be on with trying to get Percy put inside that cargo trailer. So one step at a time. Yeah, so I'm looking at an option for a cargo trailer, and saw online some pretty good deals on these trailers. About the cheapest. I mean, really, they're probably made about as cheap as any of them, but for my purposes, I'm not really looking for anything special, just something cheap enough that we can put Percy in and fit some stuff out of the storage room in and get it all to Oregon, tow it behind the RV. And so nothing special about these guys. They're looking at them, and they're pretty flimsy. I found a used one that was a lot better made, but even more money than these brand new, and so I think I'm just going to go with the cheap one here, figuring that out right now. Yeah, so pretty good deal, $3,400 for a 6x12. So made the deal on it. We're hooked up and just about ready to take off. Next step will be getting it home and figuring out how to get Percy inside it.